summary of what we know. And then we explore what are the research gaps, what are some of the questions or areas we'd like to know more of. And we can create different kind of topics or areas in blue and go into more specific questions there. Then I tend to create some space between that part and the prioritization and voting. So we have some dynamics to do that in the same session, but I tend to like thinking through, doing the clustering myself, understanding what could be per app and come together. And then through different criteria, especially impact potential, the feasibility, and how strategic is a topic versus another, then we pick, okay, this is gonna be the first research, or these are the 2 or 3 research that we're gonna do this quarter. And based out of that, we work on a very simple framework to really define that. And the great thing about Miro is that you can share things in a state that is a bit unfinished. And I like thinking of kind of the beta mode or V1 mode always, because that way I tell them how I'm thinking about the space, what are some of the user problems that we have identified, some of the business problems that we are seeing, and based on the research gaps that we have done, and that's all in the same board, maybe in different parts. So layout is really important. We establish specific research goals for each. And based on those goals, we have key research questions, maybe not all of the questions of your discussion guide, but these are the questions that you'd like to answer. And then I always refer back to this frame to when I start the analysis. I like to do analysis together with other stakeholders. And I start the analysis saying, this is what we agreed upon. This is what we are trying to uncover. And now let's do the work of analyzing all of this data to answer those questions. So any comments, any thoughts, feedback about, or questions about this thing that I just shared?
Yes, Eduardo. Do you guys leave the documentation all in Miro, or do you paste these boards to cut some kind of presentation where other stakeholders can take a look at it, or everybody just look at the whole process in Miro?
Great question. We use Miro as a presentation ready tool, which also invites people to move things, and we embrace that kind of chaos. We have Confluence for processes and things that are a bit more kind of formalized and more static, but we like to refer to the whole process in here, even when, and I'll keep sharing more about the process because I picked my first research project at Miro as a reference to walk you through all of this. But in general, if I have good headers, and I normally don't keep these headers, but because when you are a bit zoom out, you don't see the headers that well. So I create bigger headers that speak about research goals, and then kind of data gathering, and then synthesis, and then whenever necessary, I duplicate things, but I leave the content right there. And then we're working on different ways of insights repository, and I haven't nailed that down yet, but I can tell you what we're doing after. Okay, so moving forward, Miro to take notes. So we already have clarity about our research goals, and we have defined later what methods are we going to use, who to talk to. I like to have also an open questions, things that are kind of blocking the research from getting started, but now the research starts. And I like using a template that I can share with you after the call. It looks like this, very colorful, to ask the observers of my sessions to take notes. And to take notes, I say visual notes, because sometimes it's not just about typing the essence of what they say, kind of key behaviors, key quotes, key observations, moments where they didn't feel that comfortable during the session, but also to kind of connect it. So you start right away because some part of the sessions are kind of repetitive or are instructions. So you take the time as an observer to tag things, to tag people, to color code, to organize, not like move things around, and you start to see something that happens visually. So in my first study, I met 9 people, and you can see here their faces, some details about their organizations, what tools they use, and how they collaborate. And then I had details that my observers took during the sessions about the different topics I covered. And you start to see here that there are comments because we tag different people. There are screenshots from WhatsApp and things that happened there. We start to color code things that were not working as expected. So it's really fruitful, and it's not just a tool to take notes, like there are plenty, but it really is. If you take notes directly in Miro, it really makes the process a lot easier of arranging it and later debriefing. So after 2 or 3 sessions, I may have a debrief session halfway through my day with my stakeholders. Hey, what should we change? Anything in the dynamic that I should go deeper into, or shall I skip this part? And then the content is right there. We don't need to compare notes or anything. It's really in front of us, and it really saves time and makes it kind of easier and more enjoyable. Comment or thought about this part or questions? Glauco says no. Well, if anybody, just go unmute. Okay. Yeah, there is some.
Eduardo, I have a question actually. So when you're taking notes from the sessions, what kind of tool do you use for recording or the video with the users?
I'm using Zoom for the most part. We have a video tool here, video chat in the bottom, but so far I'm using Zoom because it's the way that we schedule sessions with participants, and we share that link with them. We record the session just like we are recording this one, and then we have the transcripts if we need. So the notes are really notes that are more synthetic about concrete observations rather than, you know, a transcript or kind of what they say.
Is there
Sorry.
a way that you connect the notes on Miro to the video parts where that note is taken? So like the time stamping?
No, what I personally do is I create videos, upload them to private YouTube channel or Vimeo channel, like both work, and then copy here the link. So if I need, but that's more during the analysis, not during the note taking, that I want a video clip next to the quote, because I think that video clip may make its way to the final report.
Okay, got it. Thank you.
Another way that we could do this, and this is how most people, I think, outside of Miro do it, is you take notes in a spreadsheet, which I don't love, and then you can copy paste any cells, and each cell will create a different sticky. So it's very simple. If you're used to doing it that way, you can always paste and all of the stickies appear in one kind of block. Okay, so if we have taken the notes directly in Miro, or if we're taking it elsewhere and then we paste them, it's key. And I think there is no tool like an infinite canvas to do the analysis. And secret sauces that maybe are not that common, and I'm gonna type it here, is using the search feature, because you can search for things that you anticipate. So for example, if there are some complications in the interface and they refer or are connected to a particular word, you can simply go into the search bar on the top, you type that word. In this case, for example, I can type search, and then I see everywhere that search appears. In this case, search is including the word research, and that's why I have so many. And then I could filter or just select the ones that I want with the shift, and then I move them to one part of the board. So that really helps to make the clustering really fast. I like using the mind mapping. So we have a mind mapping feature, but I often, because I already have the stickies, I often simply connect stickies next to each other, and then I use the pen to circle like different things. No, oh, these two are connected, and then we are doing the analysis together. Say, oh, these two are connected, just like you would do in a offline, like a physical whiteboard, but faster and better. And then this stays here. So I really like the experience of clustering and going through the analysis. All of this is kind of, you come up with your own template, but if you already know what you want to build, there are wonderful templates that can save a lot of time to you and your team. So I picked, for example, this one by Stephanie Walter, and it's user journey map. And she explains there how to fill it in different steps. And if you click in the link, you see that there are hundreds of templates for different things. And you can even share your own template if you came up, for example, with the matrix that Glauco explained. If we don't have such a matrix, then you can really share it in the Metaverse platform, and then more people benefit from your process to do it kind of faster, more structure. I think this, the templates bring a lot of structure, and it's not only a time savior, but also kind of assurance and visibility of the process. This is what we are doing, and this is why this is step 1, step 2, and here is where we're moving. Okay, I'm talking a lot, so I'm gonna cover the last one and then let you time for questions. So the last one is Miro to execute advanced research methods. And want to pause there, breathe. You have here some illustrations, but what I'm referring to is trying to emulate or even enhance experiences that we could do offline. For example, I'm a big advocate of generative research, this type of research that evokes or elicits some feelings, emotions, or deep thoughts into people. And they have to express those with some tangible artifacts. So typically I would come to your house, if you're the participant, with scissors, all sorts of Sharpies, pens, colors, and different shapes in paper or stickers. But at Miro, you can ask questions like, hey, find images online. How's your experience with Miro so far? And I say, don't write the word, just find an image in Google and then bring it here. So I get to learn fantastic and wonderful things. And this is something very kind of tangible and straightforward, but you can elicit a lot deeper reflections and thoughts in people. And they have Google image as an arsenal of things that could really reflect how they're feeling about a topic or something. And then I ask them to create post-it next to it to really explain that thought. And I've conducted this also in small groups, and it works really well. I have here a really nice book by TU Delft professor, Jan Peter Stappers, who is my Bible or my go-to source when I conduct these sessions and I kind of experiment with new methods. Brainstorming, and this is also a template by Studio Into, and in a session we did together. Card sorting, it's really easy to use the side panel, the notes that appear here, to create instructions. And this can be done synchronously during the research session, or you can send it as a home task. And then you use most of the time to understand why they sorted or grouped cards in that way. And the last one I wanted to share is this one about the diary study. This is my personal challenge. I've used in the past other tools like this Scout, but like Miro can be connected to Microsoft Teams or Slack, and I want to try conducting diary studies in Miro. So you have different entries or spaces where you enter information, and then you just need the reminders. So if we can use their typical chat or messaging app to connect with them and ask them, hey, enter your entry here. I will tell you maybe in a couple of months if this will work or not. So with that, I want to give credit to my colleague Boris. Boris is the one who created this card sorting template. So if any of you want, you can ping me or add him or myself in LinkedIn. I want to make sure that we have enough time for questions. So let's all move towards the right and see. You can go also unmute, but try to type here your questions so we can capture them all. So I'm reading Courtney question. If I use Miro only for qualitative research, in my personal usage, yes. presenting to make sure that it's dynamic and it's inclusive of other people.
Perfect. Thank you.
Super. I have a couple more here. Do you have any recommendations to use Miro as a research repository? Yeah, so that's a tough one. I haven't figured it out yet. The solution we have is suboptimal right now. It's what's the name? Notion, no, but I forgot the name of the tool. But yeah, the one that we have now is kind of a long table that lists all of the projects and a link to each of their boards where we have the results. But we haven't come up yet with a good tagging. I'm only 3 months at the company, so give me some time. I think it's doable, and we are seeing more and more clients using Miro as a repository, not just for research, but in general, like their product development, their sales, marketing work. So I think there is a way of doing it. I haven't yet found the one for my team. Any kind of last lingering question? I think we are at time, but I'm happy to stay here a bit longer. I welcome all of you to add me on LinkedIn. So next to my picture, you have there my LinkedIn. We can stay connected. Maybe you want to share some last reflections, if not a question, like reflections about something you found useful today. Good. It seems that we're all good. Okay. Then thank you all for joining, especially to Arvin, who came for the second time. We did this session yesterday. And I'm happy to follow up on any of these topics. I'm also curious if you want to innovate or experiment with Miro for research. We can try out new things and work together to gather best practices. So feel free to connect on LinkedIn. Super. Thank you all.
Thank you, Eduardo.
Thank you very much. See you around.
Thank you, Eduardo. Have a good evening.
Thank you. Thank you.
Thank you.
Okay, guys, if you can hear me, so what I was trying to say before the video was that that movies that Isaac suggested, if we can try to, we should try to check out that platform. And the reason is that all the inspiration there, they are all live projects. Like all the this Upwork that we were checking, if you check it there, they are going to show you what movements we do is that they'll give you all these live websites. They'll give you like all the screens for that website. So there is a pro version, there is a free version. So for free version, they can limit the screen for you. Probably you only have access to, let's say, 10 screens. The rest of the screens you will not be able to see it except you are on pro version. But then the 10 screens is enough for you to get inspiration, because all the inspirations there, they are all live websites. You can get the web, you can get the iOS version, you can get everything. And then the most interesting part of it is that you can also get the prototype there. Like I spent close to 2 or 3 hours on that platform alone yesterday. So you can also get the prototype of the platform. You can get any platform at all. They are all live. This thing it's not like Behance that is a case study of someone that they've not even worked on. This one is an existing platform that is working. So you can easily check it. Just try it out. Yes, I'll drop the link to the WhatsApp chat. So I don't know if Isaac has also tried and have anything you want to share with us with it, but that app is really interesting. That website is very, very interesting. You should just check it out.
Me and Arden, we've been now discussing a lot about comparing Notion versus a lot of tools, and I haven't been using Notion that much. Obviously, it has been part of someone, but not too much. Instead, I usually use always Miro, so that's why it just kind of naturally we went straight there. That when we were comparing Miro against Notion, I was like, well, Miro is obviously better, so let's do that.
We have reached an impasse, and I think I use Miro as well sometimes for some of the stuff that I do. But for like knowledge collection, for idea collection, I use Notion, and I'm sure Mikael uses Miro for also like ideas, like idea
Yeah, for everything.
visualization and so forth. So we thought that, hey, it'll be pretty awesome to maybe go over the both tools and to see how they compare, and also what distinct features do they have, because I think Notion is a more of a structured like data storage, while Miro is very like free and very like free form, where you can decide how you want to structure your data. And I think they're very different tools, but you can use them for the same purpose. For example, idea collection. Just like before, maybe you start, and then I will have a little bit of time for rebuttal.
Absolutely. So I happen to have it already open here. and well, I'm using the premium version of Miro, so I mean it's convenient when you have more things to do in there. You can use the free version. I think they at least they used to have this offer of 3 boards for free or something. But yeah, well, I have a ton, so I need to have the premium version. And by the way, Miro is not sponsoring this in any way, so I'll just show it because I like it. Anyway, you can do a lot of stuff with Miro. You can just like you can do sticky notes if you like. It's a I think in best ways this is a collaboration tool where you can invite a lot of team members or observers, and you guys can just uh, brainstorm together, make different kind of well let's say that I'll do like this sticky note stuff, and then I want to say like, okay, these guys are tied together because it kind of makes sense, and then I would have the blue ones, and this also goes here. So you can easily make these kind of wireframes, but they're just more visual. But the way I usually just do it is that I take the writing tool and let's put it a little smaller, and then like typing something, and then I know that if that happened, let's say that this is actually good when you're trying to figure out if you're, for example, coding or leading the coding projects, then you can do this like if and else stuff. So, well, this is not just, I'm just like showing it, but the thing is that you just, draw something happens, and then so on, and now you just keep doing this on and on. I like to do it like this. It's not very beautiful, but it's just convenient. But then you can also use, they have this, let's see, I haven't been using it for so long. They have the Miro mind map, which is very convenient. So then you can make this more beautiful version of so you just type here things, and so it goes. You can also do a lot of like mockups. They are not the most beautiful ones either, but it's pretty good one. Just to show like how things are going. I'm just trying. I don't use it that much, so I need to. Well, it's somewhere here. Oh, wireframe library. I think it's this one. Yeah. So you can click browser. You can fill there whatever you want. Then tablets and etc. But the thing is that you can also, let's say that I want to use, I'm gonna use my own website. So I have a link, and I want to present it part of the project. So I'll just take the link and I can just drop it, and it creates this little snippet like this. So now you can use this in part of your whatever you're creating, and you can same way draw stuff here. And let's say that I want to create a box which I could use for writing stuff in, so I can just combine all these things together. And then maybe I want to use logos to clarify things. So then I just go to icon finder, and then we can write here, let's say TikTok. Do they have TikTok logo already? I'm not sure. Yeah. So then you have a different kind of TikTok logos you can use, and you can use them in part of your design, whatever you're creating here. So overall, this is very convenient for so many things. I usually, when I have my keynote speak engagements, and when I'm, trying to figure out what kind of talk I'm gonna have, then I'll do it like this. I'm gonna right here the first, the big topic. So it's this one. And then I'm gonna, split it into, okay, sad. And then I'm just gonna go like this. And then I know that it's gonna take like 10 minutes. So then I know that I'm gonna split it to this topic and this topic. And when I do it like that, it's very easy for me to understand what's um what I'm gonna say, how long it's gonna take, and then I can just modify and write bullet points or whatever I want here. So yeah, you can use it in various ways.
Yeah, and I think with the Miro, there is no specific structure, and there is a lot of tools for presentation, right? You can start a timer, you can
Yeah,
embed videos, you can export frames as PDF. So I think it's very good when you want like like an unlimited canvas space to have your ideas in a visual way.
exactly.
I actually started to use Miro as a alternative to PowerPoint, and every time that I do trainings,
Mm,
I actually start with an empty canvas, and then I talk about the terms and methodologies, and I try to show concepts in the Miro by, creating it in real time. And people seem to be more engaged because, it's not a PowerPoint, things are happening, they're paying attention because, I'm drawing, I'm making connections. And I think for that kind of stuff, I agree, Miro is a really, really interesting
for sure.
alternative to other tools. Yeah, and I think Miro also works on works also as a like a way for people to participate in a meeting or a training, and you don't have to share your screen, because if they enter and they see the same board that you're sharing, they will be able to see your mouse cursor, and
Oh
you
yeah,
can force as a host everybody to follow you. So basically you don't have to share the screen. They just open the link, and then they hear your voice, and they will be able to see what you're showing, and they will be able to see that part of the Miro board that you are working on. So I think there's a
yeah.
lot of
That's
collaboration
facts.
functionality.
Exactly. Yeah, that's
Yeah.
how it works. So yeah, this is best for collaboration in many parts. And I think I just saw in Microsoft Teams that they had this Miro like a featured tool that you can use with Teams. I think you can also use with Google. I don't remember, but I haven't been using it with there, but I have this feeling that they also provide it.
Yeah, I think Miro can be easily embedded in many different services, and I will also show maybe that in the Notion as well. I think it can be easily connected to other tools. You are correct. I think there is functionality in Slack already. I think in Teams
Yeah.
now, so you can open easily Miro boards and you can see previews and whatsoever. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So I
Yeah.
think that's pretty cool. But one thing that I don't like about Miro is that once you actually have a lot of information, because there is no structure, it's very hard to go back. So if you created like a lot of material in Miro over like 10 years or something, it's very hard to find things, and it's very hard to make use of that data in a sense. So it's really good as a collaboration, but it's very bad, in my opinion, as a document manager. And some people, I know one of my customers actually does sprint planning in Miro. So they have sprint planning board in Miro, and everybody connects and so forth. But once you have, like 15 people working on one board, you have like, 400 stickers and everything. It's kind of just becomes a mess
Yeah.
because you can't use filtering functionality as
Mm.
well. You can't find things as well. You
Yeah.
can't, it becomes very tedious. So people try to use Miro for things that I think it's not optimized for, such as I mentioned, like document management. I think
Mm.
for that, it's not very good. And this is where I use personally Notion.
You shouldn't use it so that it's only like one board and where 15 people collaborates all the time for 6 months. I can't see that it it works. It um, the way I use with my team, we create very small, like very small documents. We usually just use it for some parts of the project, so we're not including everything there because you're right. There's no filtering tool, and I think it's not even meant to be used like that. Maybe that's the reason why they don't have. Miro is launching a lot of new features and upgrades all the time, and I haven't seen and never it's gonna have a filtering option there. So I think it's not the correct way to use. Obviously, everybody can use the way they want, but that is very inconvenient when you have too big of a project what they are building. I think you can link different boards to one board. I think so. I have never done it though, but I have a feeling that you can do it. So then maybe you have one big huge project, and then you link other boards that are like subboards. So then you know that this is part of that and that. Yeah.
Yeah. So the way that I think about Miro, it's like, in the classroom, you have the whiteboard, right? And you draw there, you have equations, whatever that is.
Yeah.
But when it's time to store the data, you never store the data on a whiteboard, right? You kind of
Mhm.
store it in a notebook or in a book or obviously
Yeah.
in a computer document. So for me personally, I think where Miro excels is probably like real-time collaboration, quick one, also presentation software as a way to present, for example, trainings, keynote speeches, that good stuff. It might work
Yeah.
for that pretty well. But for me personally, I tend to use Notion for everything else that I want to store for long period of time. And maybe this is a good segue for me to tell you a little bit how
Yeah.
I use
Jump in.
Notion and how it, makes a lot of sense for me. So maybe I can share my screen and give you guys a little bit of a preview of how I use Notion. And so Notion, in my opinion, is kind of like a Swiss Army knife. I mean, it has 1 million different features, and you will find features pretty much for everybody, right? So if you're a newbie and you just want to, I don't know, create documents, store your ideas, great. But Notion, it also has a full-featured database engine built in. So if you want to have very structured data, very rigid structure, you can do that. Notion has also nowadays AI functionality so that you can use that to create documents quicker. There is a lot of things you can do, and it would take maybe 5 hours to go through all the features that Notion offers, but I will tell you how I use it myself so that you can see if it's useful for you. And yeah, just hopefully
All
we'll find
right.
it useful.
See.
So basically, in Notion, you have workspaces, right? So you can be a member of multiple workspaces. You could have your own personal workspace. You could have workspace with your company, and company workspace could have multiple members, while your private workspace could be only available to you. So what I have, for example, in my own private workspace, I have archive for all the old stuff that I don't need anymore, but I want to keep around. I have second brain, that is where I have contracts,
You have the competitor
proposals.
research.
Yes, I have that as well. That as well. That as well. I have personal for my personal stuff like my trips and all of that. I have work, and work is Monday plannings, projects, sales, invoicing, milestones, videos, strategic planning, and so forth. And then I have inbox where I put everything that I don't know where it should go first. So it's like kind of my inbox. And Notion in the end is a document tool, basically. Every single page or every single piece is kind of like a document. Document can be part of the database, or it could be a simple page. And here, if you look at Notion, you can create a simple page that goes, for example, under second brain, right? And I'll call it test, right? You can give it any name you want. You can give it an icon, right? So for example, big brain, you can add cover to it to make it more interesting from the perspective of like visual appeal, right? So I could type here, for example, I don't know, Malaysia.
Well, that's nice. So let's keep the Earth.
Yeah, or we can keep it. So basically, you can put any image here as you want, and then you can start creating the document. What I love about Notion is that nowadays they also incorporated ChatGPT-like functionality here. So if you are staring at a blank page, you can just press space, and now you can tell AI to write something for you. So you can say, create
Okay.
a sprint planning document skeleton for a marketing company, and then you press enter, right? And then AI will start writing, and here it is, basically all done. If you want to make it longer, you can choose that. You can try again to get different output. If you're happy, you're happy. You can
And
also,
is there
course.
like is it I mean, like, is it the GPT-3 that is behind it, or do
Yeah,
they
I
have
think
their
it's
own?
powered by OpenAI, which
Yeah,
is who are creator of ChatGPT. So I
yeah,
think
and the
this is
GPT-3
functionality that is,
technology. Yeah.
yeah, I think this functionality is really, really useful. You can use it in many different ways. Again, as I mentioned, it's just enough for you to just press space, and then you have, you know, different options here. This is like ready-made prompts, or you could have, for example, like create a to-do list for market entry to Asia for a software company. Focus on social media, right? So again, if you know ChatGPT, you know that this is nothing really like amazing. This is the same output you would get probably from ChatGPT.
Yeah.
But the wonderful part is because it's part of the document management tool that Notion provides, it's pretty damn awesome.
Yeah.
And Notion supports nested documents, so you can just highlight maybe a word here, and you can turn it, for example, into a page. And now it became a page,
So
and
what is page? What does it mean? That does it?
page is just page is just a structure basically. So if you think about it, every single page can have some pages, right? So if you think about it, it's like a page can function also as a directory. So you can have other pages
Mm.
inside it. So that's like really useful, basically nested pages. And you can share documents to the web basically, and you can allow people to edit, comment, all that good stuff. So the sharing functionality is great. What I actually use a Notion for is I create proposals in Notion itself, which is pretty damn awesome
Okay.
because you could just use AI. You could say like, hey, create proposal text for I don't know, WordPress landing page based on Elementor, which is a horrible idea, by the way, guys.
Yeah.
You know, if you are
You shouldn't
using
use
WordPress,
Elementor.
don't go using Elementor. But I just wanted to show that it also creates, this is the wonderful part. If you do this yourself in ChatGPT, it will not create headings and so forth. But here, the AI knows how to create, you know, formatting, proper formatting for you. So you have bullet points, you have titles, and basically the
Nice.
creation of document is very easy. You just, you know, type / for comments. And then here you could, for example, choose table of contents. For example, here, table of contents, boom. And now automatically you have table of contents, and you can just go export and export it to, for example, PDF. If it's a proposal, you probably want PDF. If you want Markdown, you can actually export it as a Markdown document so that it later can be edited in Markdown editors, or it can be changed, like transformed into any other format, such as PDF or Word document. And you can embed stuff here easily. So if you have like a Miro board you want to embed, you can do that as well. You just type / and then embed. And here by default it supports many different softwares. And here you have a Miro, for example. So now if I pasted a Miro board here, yeah, so now if I pasted a Miro board, for example, miro.com, and then if I paste, well, I think I'm logged in here. Miro has a desktop version of their software as well. So here, for example, processes, this is one document I created for our team in order to like describe our internal processes a little bit better. So here you just create a board link, and then you go here and just click embed. And now basically what will happen is Miro document will be, interactive document will be part of the document in Miro, and you can actually see Miro board itself, and you can interact with it.
That's awesome.
Yeah. So, and you can expand it, you can make it so that it's really, it's really proper. And this is what I really love about Notion, is that Notion works the best. And I'm not going to go into database and all of that. If you like Notion or you think this is cool, just Google Notion and you will see like 1 million different tutorials. But Notion works really well as a content hub. So if you want to bring there all the content from different places, and because they have unlimited storage space, if you are paying for Notion, you can actually put there your videos. For example, I have here, I think, video as, here we go. So for example, here, I have videos that I store. So these videos are stored at Notion servers at no additional cost for me, and I can download them if I want to, but I can also play them directly from Notion. So it works really well as a place to put everything that you have. Google Documents, you can put them here, you can embed Miro, you can have videos and so forth. And then what I also like is you just press and hold Command and you press K, and now you have very easy way to just see your documents, find your documents. So I can just type like Monday planning, for example, and boom, here's my document. I press it again and I go to test. Boom, this is the document that I just looked at. It's very, very easy. And from that perspective, I think it's a killer service and like a really good software. The only downside that I see is that there is no offline functionality, if I remember correctly. So it means if you're not connected, you don't have access to all of your documents, which is really unfortunate.
That is very rare. That you would be offline
unless you travel a lot and spend a lot of time in the plane.
I mean,
or
but
you have bad connection.
You get Wi-Fi on planes nowadays, so that is not a problem either. When we used to live in Mexico, we were flying a lot, and those planes at least, we used Lufthansa, and they always had Wi-Fi, and it was actually pretty decent Wi-Fi. So it was not super fast, but it's definitely something that you can do, if you're working with Notion, because obviously this is not most likely. It's not using too much of bandwidth, so you don't need much of you don't need a fast Wi-Fi to do it. And now, people are getting the Starlink all in all, more and more, so you can get Wi-Fi to remote places. You proposed this idea because, once again, you are clear winner. So my tools they usually always suck when we are comparing to your.
No.
And I have to start using Notion immediately. This is I don't know why I haven't been. I think I started using Notion way back, like years back.
Yeah.
Years ago, and then it was kind of like a skeleton compared to what it is now. And I noticed from some kind of I think I saw an ad from Notion lately that they said they have the AI, and I was like, all right, cool, but they didn't explain it much, like what it really means that they have AI there. And I've been using ChatGPT for long, and then I've been using a lot of other AIs for the past 2-3 years. So I was like, okay, like everybody's putting AI in it, so doesn't make. But now that I see it, that and it's the GPT-3 technology there, yeah, kind of makes the whole ChatGPT usage obsolete in many ways.
Yeah, I mean, they still use ChatGPT underneath, right? Or something similar to it. Um, but what I like is that the way that they integrated this functionality into Notion seems very seamless and very easy. And you can create very quick documents. And that makes just a lot of sense, right? If you want to summarize something, Notion can do summaries, so you can just um, for example, create summary from this page, and now it will go through all the page and create a short summary of
Yeah,
everything you
that's
have written.
ChatGPT stuff. Yeah.
Yeah. So if you, for example, have, like a memo of a meeting or something, or a long document, you can create a very, very quick,
Okay. What if you
summary.
have a video? What if you have a like a YouTube video and you wanna get a summarized version of it, like a text format? Can you just put the
No,
URL?
I don't think you can do it. The only way to do it is if you can somehow create a transcript of a video, and this is maybe something we could talk at another time. But for example, if you use Descript,
Yeah.
Descript is a
Yeah. I've
very,
been using
very
it.
good
Yeah.
software.
Oh,
You could, for
it's a
example,
fantastic
download
one. Yeah.
YouTube video and then put it in Descript, create a transcription file, import it into Notion, and then ask AI to summarize so that, you can do it that way,
Yeah. This
but
script is
it's not as
this script is
seamless.
fantastic. Yeah.
That's pretty much it. And I like it that we talk about different tools, and you like simple tools that are minimalistic maybe in a
Because
way,
I'm a
and
simple
are
person.
more visual. Well, not really. I just think you're more creative, and
Yeah.
because I have a software, engineer background, well, a software developer background, a little bit at least. I kind of like things, in a structure, neat,
Organized
packed,
way.
so that
Mm-hmm.
so that I
Oh,
have ability
yeah.
to
By the way,
later use
can you
it.
draw there? Can you draw there, or is it just like the text stuff, or can you also draw?
I
Can you make
think
wireframes?
I think you can draw. If I remember correctly, there was
Like
there was a block for that.
wireframes or something like that.
I don't think wireframes. I think I think you have to embed something.
Well, yeah. I mean,
You
you can embed Mira, so there you go. Then, yeah. For me,
Sorry.
I have to say that I usually like to promote myself as winner, but in this case, I gotta say that you won. Like, there's no even question about it. And for me, why I really like this stuff is that when you show that you have the AI here, and now that I saw it in action, I was like, yeah, because we're using ChatGPT like every day, and we have we just got the plus, so we're now in the paid plan, and it's so convenient. But yeah, so you have the AI, but then also you show that you can embed Nero, and then you can even modify. You can see it, and that's yeah, that blew me away. And yeah, now I have to actually go and buy the Miro immediately. If you have a like a referral code, give me that one, and
No, I
we'll
don't
go
think
from there.
I don't think I have a referral code, but just get a free version of Notion. See what you like, and remember the AI functionality is locked to a paid plan, if I remember correctly, or maybe you can actually test it with free. But anyway, Notion is like $5 a month, like
What?
$5. Yeah,
That's nuts. Oh, that is
yeah.
crazy.
I think
This
it is.
that is the thing what I really like nowadays, and this is something that's now I need to compare this to
Okay,
Finnish.
$8.
Huh? How much?
$8.
8. Well,
Eight.
nothing. It's nothing.
Yeah.
So, and this is what I just wanted to say, that now that I'm comparing to Finnish startups and Finnish technology scene, um, what Finnish companies need to take more care of is try to compete against these, like, they need to make these crazy deals and crazy offers that nobody can compete against, because when you're doing like Notion, that is like, hey, $8 and you get AI, you get everything there, like full of features. It's really hard to compete against those when you only have like a couple of features and then you are charging $100 a month, this kind of stuff. So I'm not talking about the Finnish companies because I'm from Finland, but this is actually this applies to all of the smaller countries that are building their own startups and they're putting money on startup scene. Is that this is the competition where you are competing against. So if you are charging more, like way more, I understand in the financial part of the day, it's very hard to run without having more money coming in. But the thing is that the consumers are always choosing the best option, and so then you need to rethink the whole structure, that if you can't offer that kind of quality with that money, then you have to rethink your money flow. Okay, that's another topic. I just want to say that I'm so excited. I'm on Notion. I didn't know that this is going there. I was like a little low energy when we started, because I was thinking like Notion is, that sounds so damn boring. But yeah, this
It's
is
pretty good. It's
this was
pretty
a
good.
roller coaster.
Yeah, it's pretty good. It's good to be the winner once in a while. So yeah, definitely. I think
What, you've
Notion.
been winning like all of our stuff. I think I
No, it depends.
I always
It
declare
depends.
myself winner when we start, and then you just what you wipe the table with me.
I think we talk about different tools and we use them in different ways. So, we joke a little bit about winner and so forth. But yeah, Notion is definitely a tool that works as a archive for all your documents. And it's kind of like I call it like Notion is my brain dump. So when I have something in my head, if I, for example, have my
Yeah, well, Miro
to-do,
is that
on
for
my
me.
netbook.
Yeah, Miro
Yeah.
is for me
Yeah.
that
So I
brain dump stuff. Yeah.
Yeah, but in Miro, the problem is that if you have multiple boards, I don't think you can easily search information from multiple boards, and it becomes kind of like a hassle a little bit
Yeah, but
once you start creating a
I
lot
don't
of
work like
content.
that. Yeah, I don't work like that though.
Yeah.
I don't need
What do
to
you
search
do?
stuff. Huh? I
What do you do?
remember.
Like, how do you find information later when you need it, like 2 weeks later?
Uh well, that's the thing. I don't work anything like that. I don't need to remember things from 2 weeks. I actually remember in my brain, and then I have this. It's not a picture memory. I can't say that I have that, but I have a very good visual memory. So when I when I have a lot of boards, I just know that it's somewhere there. In that section, it's there, and then I just know where to go, and that is also a gift, but that it's also a curse, just because when I have like our employees and freelancers, they don't, obviously they can't they can access to my brain, so they don't know. So then I always need to be the one who's like, okay, I'm gonna get you that link, hold on, and they're gonna send it to chat or whatever. So I can't outsource that stuff away, and obviously it's taking more and more time. But yeah, I don't need the filtering tool. I don't need to. I've been using Microsoft Teams with our clients a lot, and everybody else they are always fetching their data from whatever where the data is located, and for me that's my brain stop working. It's For me it's super difficult to find anything like that. But when I see them as pictures, or
Visual
I see them,
objects
yeah,
or
visually,
something.
I see them
Yeah.
like boards. It's super easy to find anything. Super easy. Yeah.
Yeah, but again, it's hard to scale this way of storing information
Yeah,
in a
you
bit.
can't.
Like once the organization start growing, you can't really do that. But
Yeah, I know.
I do think that ability to embed Miro in the documents is a really good functionality, because
Oh,
then
for sure.
you can start with the Miro board, you can, bring it to Notion, and then using AI, you could summarize, you could create easily the document, or,
Mhm.
the funny part is that what you can actually do with Notion is that you can, for example, transcribe your own voice in Mac, for example.
Yeah,
So you could just click transcribe, and, in Mac, for example, you can create text using your speech, and then you
for
can
sure.
ask AI to kind of go through the text, proofread it, apply formatting, and so forth. So I think there is a lot of
Ah, you can use
functionality
that
there.
as well there. Yeah. Oh, because I have all these like voice memos, and
Yeah.
that is hard because I have a lot of voice memos on my Mac, iPhone and all that, and no way I can go back and see what's going on there. So I know when I'm recording it, I know that this is useless. I never go back. I would love to, but just skipping the timelines and like which one. I because I also suck naming my recording, so they always like untitled something, and then there's just the dates. And now I just try to go back, like, oh, was it like 6 months ago? I was thinking this and that, and then I'm just skipping, and I hate it. So if you can also embed that there, shit, yeah, that's a good one.
Yeah, for sure, for sure. So this time, I think the Notion can be declared a winner, since it can be incorporated with Miro. And I think they're very different tools, but they can be combined. And I think they're the strongest when combined together.
Oh yeah, absolutely. I think yeah, exactly. When you're using stack of apps, like you're having Miro, then you're gonna have Trello, that you have. I think you can embed their HubSpot. I think you can put a lot of stuff there. I suppose. So
Maybe.
well, at least with Zapier, you can for sure you can add
Yeah.
whatever to Notion.
Yeah.
So if you're using a stack of apps, and most likely you are. Nowadays, everybody just needs to use so many different tools all the time. Now I clearly see that Notion would actually be very beneficial for our company as well. And they I think they're a little undervalued or underestimated as a
No,
tool.
I don't think so, because there is so much buzz about Notion, and Notion has been raising money like nobody's business. They bought Cron, as the calendar that I recommended at some
Oh,
point to
Notion
you.
bought that one. Yeah,
Yeah,
because Cron
Notion
is
bought
awesome.
Cron,
Yeah.
and they have been now investing in AI, so they were able to roll that out pretty quickly. So Notion is growing like crazy, just like crazy, and people are really hyped about it. And what is really interesting about Notion is that usually people like hype about a service or a software, and then it kind of like dies down
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
rather
with the hype
quickly,
dice.
because
Yeah.
in internet, yeah, nobody has attention for anything anymore. But for
So
Notion,
technically, we
there
make
were
these very short videos of like 40 minutes.
yes, very short.
It's not good for
So
algorithm, man.
basically, Notion was able to keep the momentum for very long time, and they are not really losing the momentum, which is really rare in our space. They're just killing it, to be honest. There are a lot of features people are still asking for, like in terms of like maybe security, offline functionality, but they're killing it, like really, really doing awesome work. And like when you subscribe to the paid plan, you kind of feel like the more time goes by, the better your plan becomes. So like when you had paid plan, you got AI functionality, like, on the top
Yeah,
of
yeah,
your
yeah, yeah.
existing functionality. So I feel Notion is what Evernote could have been if Evernote
Yeah,
actually did things right.
yeah. What went wrong there? What went wrong? Because yeah,
So I
Evernote
think,
used to have like huge buzz, and now
yeah.
nobody's using it.
Well, I use it. I use
Why though?
Evernote
You have
for
Notion. Why would
y-
why would you use Evernote?
no. One thing that Evernote does that Notion doesn't do, and I don't know if any other software does it. So you can just, for example, imagine this: I have table scanner, document scanner that scans documents very quickly, right? You just put like 20 documents and it scans them like very quickly. So I just dump that stuff into Evernote. I just put it to Evernote, and Evernote automatically scans PDFs. And then later, if I want to find something, for example, I want to find a receipt for, I don't know, a computer or something, I don't have to really think like what was the document name. I just can type like what was on the receipt, maybe like, I don't know, like iPhone or, Logitech mouse or whatever. I can type it and it will search from the content of the file, from the PDF, from the docs. And if I draw something, it will also try to do OCR so that it detects my handwriting and turns it into text. So I can find stuff from my handwritten, notes and memos and stuff like that.
I've been using Adobe's OCR there.
Yeah, but I think Adobe doesn't really do like all the formats. I think they do PDF maybe and like images or something. I don't know, but
they can withdraw data from images.
yeah. Well, I haven't tried, but again, Evernote is like $50 a year or something. But I think when they tried to redo the application from ground up, they made a lot of people very unhappy because they weren't able to provide functionality parity with the previous version. So they released a new version of application that they thought is better than the original one, but it had less features and it didn't function as well. So people got really disappointed.
Oh yeah, for sure. You can never take away features. That's just the thing, It's in when you're talking about governments, it's called deferred benefits, I think, in English. And it means that when you have it's earned benefits. So when you have earned your benefit, you can't give it away. So that's the same with apps and tools. When you have features, it's kind of like an earned benefit, and then when you're taking it away, even though it would be not even much used, it would. But if you take it away, then it's like, oh, okay, I'm done with this app, and then that's it.
Yeah, I think there is a term for it in psychology. It's aversion to loss or what? Not, I don't remember what it is, but basically, if somebody gives you €1, you're like, okay, €1, great, thank you. You don't care much. But if you lose €1, the loss,
the hell breaks
feels.
loose.
Yeah. So the feeling of losing something is a lot more impactful compared to gaining something, especially when we're talking about small things. So yeah, people went crazy, Evernote got so much hate. And I think now that, the company is sold actually to a mobile software development company, I think. So there is some potential for Evernote to come back, but I think it would need so much money and, they would have to go back. I'm not. Evernote could have been Notion of today if they didn't screw up their development plan and development path. They just went like totally in the wrong direction. But again, let's not make this episode longer than it should be. I think we went on that was an interesting segue. But yeah,
we aimed at 20 minutes, and now we're like over 40.
Yes. Yeah.
But I think the good stuff came in the end of this one, so it's a good one.
Yeah, there's good rambling, from us for sure, I think. But otherwise, definitely try Miro, definitely try Notion, and try to mix them together. It's really, really awesome. And I just checked, and I think the AI functionality is also part of the free plan. So I think that's pretty cool. So
Even
basically
better.
you get kind of like ChatGPT-like functionality inside Notion. And let us know what you think in the comments down below. And if you want to see more episodes like this, subscribe and let us know that you like it. And hey, if you have some other alternatives that we didn't cover, or you want us to cover other software or services, just let us know. Thank you, Mikhail. This was really, really good, as always.
My pleasure.
Thank you so much.
My pleasure. All right. Bye.
Take care. Bye.
Hi guys, please attendance. My network is not stable. No one can help me with that attendance link.
Yeah, the attendance is already in the chat, and also on WhatsApp. But Rebecca is raising. Okay, so Abi, Deborah rather, Deborah have posted it.
Okay, thank you. But it's showing week 5 instead of week 6. I don't know if it's an error.
Yeah, Deborah already raised it in the chat box, but we don't no response yet. I guess we just fill that one. And if there's going to be any correction, probably a new link will be shared. But for now,
Oh,
that's what we have.
okay,
Yeah.
okay, okay. I've filled it already. Thank you. Deborah, why were you laughing? What happened?
Deborah chose to be mute today. She just dey observe. Ah, Ebube, you are here. I don't know.
Ebube is here now.
You know, she said she will be joining late, so I don't
Okay,
know. I thought it was
okay,
Isaac. Isaac self don't go.
okay. My phone battery is almost down. I'm having 0%. I'm just trying to
They call me on
manage it
Jen.
still.
Spend this money on Jen, on Jen, on
Hey,
Jen.
my gen is on. Oh. My gen is on. I'm charging it at the moment, but it's still showing 0%.
Ah, okay. Oh, okay. New link has been posted. Though. It's showing week 6. Okay. You have a new link now. Let me see. Okay, the new one is showing week 6.
Hey, thank you, everyone. Emmanuel, what's the next plan? Are we still meeting?
No, I'm not sure we need to meet. So this one that nobody is even talking in this meeting. It's just you and I. And so there's no need. Let's just I'll share the link to that Mobius to group WhatsApp. You can just at your own free time check it till tomorrow. So I think what I'll just do is when I get home this evening, I'll try to see how we can share the tags. So we will just be viewing everything with Mr. Ebenezer tomorrow. I also
Okay,
try to message Mr.
okay,
Ebenezer if he can help us check the survey, then we can start sharing it this
okay,
night. Yeah.
okay.
Whatever is wrong with Deborah Ebube, I hope we'll know by tomorrow. So that's it. So for now, let's check that movie. That movie is really, really like it will help a lot. Everything is live project, so it will help a lot. I'll
Okay,
share
the
it.
link you sent,
No, I've not
is it
even shared
the
it.
link?
That
Okay,
link
okay,
is for the new
okay,
attendance. Let me share
okay.
that. Yeah.
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
Okay, Pikami, I've shared it. So Pikami, you can check. I've shared it in the WhatsApp group. Ebube, I don't know if you can hear me too. Try to check out that link.